Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm your average Joe, and this is the WWE 2K25 Universe Mode series, and we have Sol Ruka making her way out here to kick off the show. She is in singles action, and we are about to determine the #1 contender for the Women's United States Championship. Of course, Roxanne Perez successfully defended the title back at SummerSlam. Cora Jade had made it clear that she's not finished with Roxanne Perez just yet, but Sol Ruka made it clear that she believes that she deserves a championship opportunity, especially after back at Evolution, where she pushed the former WWE champion to the limit in Bayley. And here is her opponent. It is Chelsea Green, a former United States champion in her own right, looking to regain that title. But first of all, she has to get through Sol Ruka here tonight, and that's going to be a tough task, seeing as Sol Ruka has had one heck of a start to her Universe Mode career. Of course, as we stated before, pushing Bayley, the former WWE Women's Champion, to the limit on an occasion where Bayley was actually still the champion, of course, before SummerSlam. But here tonight, Chelsea Green looking to defeat the rookie and propel herself back towards the championship title. Oh, hold on a second. Well, Roxanne Perez, it's the Women's United States champion, making her way down to ringside here, and Sol Ruka seems a little bit distracted and, quite frankly, a little bit furious at this, but Chelsea Green doesn't seem too bothered, to be honest. Well, Roxanne Perez already playing mind games with perhaps both of these two, but maybe more so Sol Ruka, who right out of the gates, a big forearm to Chelsea Green, and then just shouting towards the United States champion on the outside, but then a moonsault off of the top rope. The high-flying ability of Sol Ruka on full display here. Sol Ruka now once again with another moonsault. My goodness. Sol Ruka, of course, was showcasing her abilities back at Evolution against Bayley. And here tonight, she has a big opportunity to challenge, or at least become a #1 contender to another championship here on the main roster. Another moonsault connecting into the cover, hooking the leg, looking to make quick work of Chelsea Green, but a kick out found by the former Women's United States champion. Chelsea Green, of course, winning that championship back at Money in the Bank to become the inaugural Women's United States champion here in Universe Mode. Oh my word, a big backbreak to the back of Sol Ruka. And now Sol Ruka able to find a reversal. Chelsea Green to the outside. A stunner onto the top rope. As now both of these two heading to the outside. Of course, they need to be aware of Roxanne Perez, the Women's United States champion, because she is out there. And if she so pleases, I'm sure that she wouldn't mind causing some kind of distraction. But now Chelsea Green back into the ring. And luckily for Sol Ruka, Chelsea Green just about missed out on that big knee as Sol Ruka was coming flying in, but a power slam connecting. Sol Ruka showing that she not only is able to go for the high flying abilities just like that, but she's also got a bit of a power game to her as well. Chelsea Green in some trouble right now, as Sol Ruka, I was just about to say, is in full control of this matchup. A big boot connecting for Chelsea Green. And Chelsea Green now just hammering down. Big elbow strikes to the back of the head. And then just gazing over at the Women's United States champion on the outside. And now Sol Ruka with a reversal of her own. Chelsea Green fighting back here. Back and forth we go between these two. Chelsea Green trying to insert herself back into this matchup. But now these two trading blows in the center of the ring. Sol Ruka once again getting the upper hand here, and Chelsea Green sent to the outside. right in front of the Women's United States Champion. Now Sol Ruca getting in the face of Roxanne Perez a little bit here, but she needs to remain focused. Roxanne Perez, hold on a second. A bit of a stare down between these two, talking trash to each other. And hold on a minute. Chelsea Green sent crashing into the United States Champion. And Sol Ruca seems to be one step ahead of both of these two here tonight. As now the action heads back into the ring. Roxanne Perez down and out on the outside. As now Sol Ruca looking for a moonsault. Off of the springboard. Took a little bit too long. And a big knee to the side of the head by Chelsea Green. And Chelsea Green just looking to take advantage of all of the shenanigans and the chaos on the outside. As now Sol Ruca sent off the ropes and a big elbow connecting to the jaw. Sol Ruca now with a reversal. Roxanne Perez still down and out on the outside. Big crossbody connecting for Sol Ruca. Sol Ruca just gazing at the Women's United States Champion, making sure that she's still down and out here. As now Sol Ruca seemingly trying to decide what she wanted to go for next, and seems like she's been thrown off her game a little bit here. Even though Roxanne Perez is down and out on the outside, it seems like her presence is enough to cause a distraction here. Now Chelsea Green is able to fight back into this one. Rough Rider connecting into the cover she goes, hooking her leg. Chelsea Green for the win. No! Big kick out found by Sol Ruca. And now Chelsea Green is measuring Sol Ruca here. This could be the beginning of the end, but no, a big elbow connecting and a super kick to follow. Sol Ruca once again gazing over to the outside, making sure that Roxanne Perez is down and out still, and again missing out on that body splash. Sol Ruca seemingly very distracted by the fact that Roxanne Perez is on the outside. She seems too concerned with the fact that Roxanne Perez was down and out here, and to make sure that she couldn't make it back to her feet and cause some kind of distraction, I guess. As now off of the top rope and a big boot connecting. Sol Ruca needs to remain focused on Chelsea Green here, because Chelsea Green, as we stated before, is a former Women's United States Champion in her own right. So you don't want to be sleeping on Chelsea Green in this one. She has all the tools to become a champion once again here in Universe Mode. As now Chelsea Green heading up to the top rope. Roxanne Perez still down and out on the outside. Chelsea Green looking to fly. Big drop kick connecting right on the button. As Chelsea Green could be beginning to close in on a victory here in Universe Mode. Stomping away at the hands and the fingers. And now Chelsea Green with a bit of a head scissors locked in here. Looking to maybe make Sol Ruca tap out, but she's able to slide on out. And that one, a big forearm connecting off the springboard. Sol Ruca needs to shake off the cobwebs. But Chelsea Green now, back and forth we go between these two. Chelsea Green planted face first. Sol Ruca straight into the cover, hooking the leg for the victory. No, kick out found by Chelsea Green. And now finally the Women's United States Champion back to her feet, talking some trash to Sol Ruca as she makes her way out of the arena, or at least out of the ringside area. Sol Ruca though trying to stay focused on Chelsea Green here, it seems like. A stunner on the top rope, dropping Chelsea Green to the outside. Sol Ruca remaining inside the ring, at least for now. She wants to bring the fight back into the ropes. Might be a wise decision, that. As now Chelsea Green's been caught up on the shoulders and planted spine first, stacked up, and Sol Ruca for the victory. Number one contender. No, big kick out found by Chelsea Green, but Sol Ruca can feel it. She feels as though she may be about to get the victory. Big forearm connecting. Is now heading out to the apron here, off of the springboard, looking for the big body splash, and she connected with it this time. Sol Ruca, hold on a second. Oh my goodness, well, Roxanne Perez only just made her way out of the ringside area, and now causing a distraction once again here. But hold on a second. Well, Cora Jade wiping out the Women's United States Champion from behind. Well, we need some security out here. The referee getting distracted by these two. Sol Ruca inside the ring. I mean, what on earth is going on here? But Chelsea Green making her way back to her feet, and Sol Ruka could be in trouble because she's been stacked up here. Baseball slide for the victory. Chelsea Green has done it. She's stolen the victory from Sol Ruka off of the distraction. Both Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez causing some chaos on the outside, and that may have just cost Sol Ruka her number one contendership here, because Chelsea Green is the number one contender to Roxanne Perez, and she will be facing her at Saturday night's main event.
Bianca? Are you okay? I saw what happened last week with Naomi.
I'm fine.
Naomi didn't look like she was trying to talk things out.
One way or another, I'm gonna figure out what's going on with her. That wasn't Naomi. She's not acting like herself, and I don't like it.
Well, just be careful.
I always am. And by the way, just because I tried to cash in at SummerSlam on the women's world title, don't think for a second I can't change my mind. I could always go after yours.
Boo!
Blake! Oh my god.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to startle you.
Actually, I've been meaning to talk to you about last week. I'm sorry I wasn't more help.
Meh, it's fine. Really, I'm not upset at you. I'm upset at them. Bailey, Lola, Kiana. I'm sick of the disrespect to that title. And more importantly, to our champion, you, Tiffany Stratton. And I hope you won't hate me for this.
What did you do now?
I went to Rey Mysterio. At Clash in Paris, you're defending your title.
Oh, really? Against who? Come on, Blake. Tell me, who is it?
Lola Vice. She's the number one contender.
What? You mean the same Lola Vice who made Rhea Bloody Ripley tap out at SummerSlam?
Yeah.
Fine. I can finally put that musclehead in her place.
But that's not all.
What did you do, Blake?
I wasn't actually going to raise office about your championship. I asked for a match against Bailey and Kiana.
What? Why on earth would you do that? You can't take on the initiative alone.
That's where you come in. At Saturday night's main event, it's Bailey and Kiana versus...
No. You didn't.
Me. And...
Blake, no. Don't you dare.
Our WWE Women's Champion, Tiffany Stratton.
Blake! I told you I'm done with partners, done with friendships, done babysitting.
Ugh, I know. I'm sorry. But this is our chance. We end the initiative for good. Bailey goes to the back of the line, away from your title.
Ugh, fine.
Yes.
But what about Lola? I still have to defend my title against her at Clash in Paris.
I'm not worried about her, and neither should you be. You're the WWE Women's Champion. There's no one that can stop you.
Well, I'm going to hair and makeup. You coming?
Wait, really? You mean Mrs. No More Friends is inviting me to hair and makeup?
If you're coming, hurry up before I change my mind.
Okay, I'm coming, let's go!
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the WWE United States Championship. The following is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from San Francisco, California, weighing in at 251 pounds, the WWE United States Champion, Jimmy Uso!
So Jimmy Uso, the man who won the United States Championship back at SummerSlam, paying homage to the greatest of all time on his farewell tour by issuing an open challenge for the United States Championship. Last week was the first time we had the open challenge and Chad Gable answered the call. Jimmy Uso was able to put him down and retain the championship. But the question is, who's going to answer the call here this evening?
The United States Open Challenge is officially open. So, if you want some, come get some.
Oh my goodness. You've got to be kidding me, right?
And his opponent from the Gulf of America, weighing in at 202 pounds, El Grande Americano!
I mean, back at SummerSlam, we did have two El Grande Americanos. I'm not even sure how that's possible, but in the same matchup, one of them entering the match as the champion and the other as a challenger. But, I mean, we did see both of them back at SummerSlam. And I mean, now, I guess that maybe this is the rematch for the El Grande who had the title before, but I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I don't know what is happening with this situation with these El Grande Americanos. They seem to be multiplying here on Friday Night SmackDown. As Jimmy Uso potentially handing over the championship for the final time. El Grande Americano. Not sure if this is the man who was previously holding the title or not, but if it was, then he's looking to regain that championship. And I mean, Jimmy Uso was a man who at one point was stating that he believed that El Grande Americano was in fact Chad Gable, and you can hear the WWE Universe seem to be a bit split on that decision as well, as El Grande Americano right out the gates here, all guns blazing, missing out on that moonsault though. Got a little bit too carried away just there. There's now a headlock applied. Big Jimmy Uso taken down to the mat, showing a little bit of frustrations here. Jimmy Uso needs to keep his composure and keep his cool, because at one point in this Universe Mode series it seemed like Jimmy Uso was being sent a little bit doula with the fact of El Grande Americano's presence and trying to figure out who is in fact behind the mask. But if he allows that to consume him here this evening, then he could be about to lose the United States Championship. But now, El Grande Americano locking up with Big Jim. A bit of a power struggle between these two, and El Grande Americano showcasing his own power here. As now, hold on, what on earth is this? Looking for a Hurricane Rana, it seems like, but Big Jim powering him up and into a powerbomb. Resisting the maneuver from El Grande Americano. Now into the cover he goes. Big Jim to retain the championship. No, just a 1 count found on this occasion. Big Jim, Jimmy Uso, of course, as we stated, bringing back the United States Open Challenge, paying homage to John Cena on his farewell tour. And you have to wonder, will John Cena perhaps be a man to answer the challenge at some point here? Of course, we do know that he's after that 17th World Championship, but a big headbutt connecting off the top rope for Big Jim. Jimmy Uso into the cover he goes. We've seen El Grande Americano utilize that move, but no, big kick out found by El Grande. So as we were saying before, John Cena is looking for that 17th World Championship, but could he maybe take a little bit of a detour and maybe answer one of the open challenges here in Universe mode? Big Jim, Jimmy Uso now with El Grande Americano clubbing blow to the spine. But El Grande able to find the reversal. Big right hand by Big Jim looking for a super kick to the back of the head, but El Grande saw it coming somehow. And then tossing Jimmy Uso over his head. The power of El Grande Americano is something else here in Universe mode. And hold on a second, what on earth is this? Well, that maneuver seems a little bit familiar. But now, Big Jim making his way back to his feet here. El Grande Americano off of the ropes, off of the springboard, looking for a headbutt, it seemed like. But Big Jim was able to find a way to avoid that headbutt, that diving headbutt off of the springboard. A couple of kicks to the face here. And a super kick connecting to the front and the back of the head. And Big Jim scrambles into the cover. He thinks he's done enough here to retain the championship. No. Kick out found by El Grande somehow. He's still conscious after 2 super kicks in a row, but now up to the top rope, looking for the Uso splash connecting. Jimmy Uso about to retain the championship here on Friday Night SmackDown. No! El Grande Americano is not about to allow this opportunity to slip through his fingers. Hold on a second. Jimmy Uso getting a little bit desperate here. His feet on the ropes. And El Grande a little bit shocked at the fact that Big Jim was swooping to that level to try and retain the championship. El Grande, it seemed like for a moment, was looking to expose the steel on that turnbuckle pad. But Big Jim was able to stop him in his tracks, and now Jimmy Uso just getting the WWE Universe to acknowledge him and his tribal chief in Roman Reigns, who of course is over on Monday Night Raw. We did see him in action back at SummerSlam as well, taking on Seth freaking Rollins. And now, Big Jim, Jimmy Uso, with El Grande Americano in his clutches, sending El Grande into the ring here. Big Jim, Jimmy Uso is feeling it, getting the WWE Universe behind him. El Grande Americano is struggling in this one now. Well, hold on a second. El Grande able to find the reversal. Now sending Big Jim off of the ropes here. Jimmy Uso being worn out by the champion, but a big clothesline connecting. Jimmy Uso looking to try and stay in control of this one. But El Grande continues to try and fight back here. Back and forth we go between these two. Neither man able to grab a hold of this matchup and keep their clutches on it. And now, off the ropes, Big Jim, Jimmy Uso is sizing up. El Grande Americano has been busted wide open under that mask. Jimmy Uso heading to the outside momentarily. Now he's been caught as he heads back into the ring, and oh my goodness, planted is Jimmy Uso, and now over the top rope with a senton connecting. El Grande Americano suddenly looking like he's building some crucial momentum here. Jimmy Uso using the ropes to stay on his feet. It's now, oh my goodness, the torque on the neck there, and we could have a new United States champion. No, big kick out found by Big Jim. Hold on a second. El Grande Americano using Big Jim's tactics against him, putting his feet on the ropes there. As now, oh, Jimmy Uso caught into a German suplex and wisely rolling to the outside. Jimmy Uso is all out of sorts right now, into a Hurricane Rana as well. El Grande Americano is pushing the United States champion to the limit here, and now hoisted up and slammed down face first onto the concrete floor. Jimmy Uso is in big, big trouble. And looking for the diving headbutt. Jimmy Uso saw it coming though. Big super kick, couldn't connect with it. Or at least connected a little bit with it. Partially, it looked like he may have connected on the chest. El Grande Americano though, back in control of this one. Sending the champion back into the ring, of course. El Grande Americano needs to win this one in between the ropes if he wants to take the championship away from Big Jim. Jimmy Uso looking for a big slap or big chop. But sent off the ropes here and into a spear, connecting Big Jim to retain the championship. United States champion, no. Kick out found again for El Grande Americano. It's Big Jim now. He's feeling it here. Getting the WWE Universe behind him, heading up to the top rope. He could be looking... Oh, he's not looking for the Uso splash. Instead, Jimmy Uso with the Uso in the wind, taking out El Grande Americano, and now he's going to head back up to the top rope. Piling on the pressure, piling on the onslaught. Couldn't connect with the Uso splash. El Grande Americano back to his feet. Who is going to walk out as the United States champion? El Grande Americano with the diving headbutt. You have to wonder, does he have the metal plate in his mask? Big kick out found by Big Jim, and El Grande cannot believe it. Usually that diving headbutt gets the job done for him. But as we stated, you have to wonder, does he have that metal plate inside the mask? If he does, then you could understand why he showed so much frustration just there. And Big Jim, Jimmy Uso, wisely heading to the outside. The United States champion back into the ring, finding a reversal. Crucial moment in this matchup. Sent off the ropes again. Big back body drop connecting. Jimmy Uso is feeling it here tonight. And now a big kick to the midsection. Now hoisting up El Grande Americano, who is in big trouble now, up on the shoulders. And then hung up on the top rope, neck first. And Jimmy Uso backing it up into the corner. You don't want to be there with Big Jim. Piling on the pressure, piling on the onslaught. Here is the United States champion. And now up to the top rope, here we go. And oh my word, sent to the outside. Big right hand by Big Jim. Drops El Grande Americano. As now the referee begins the count, and Jimmy Uso heading to the outside, breaking up the count here, but issuing some more ground and pound, more punishment on the outside. Jimmy Uso is not letting up here. He's only just won that United States Championship, and he's not about to allow it to slip through his fingers here in Universe mode. You have to question his ideas of the United States Open Challenge, though, because, I mean, week after week, if he's defending that championship over and over again, you have to think that at some point his body may give out on him. As now heading back into the ring is El Grande Americano. Jimmy Uso following here. El Grande just teasing Big Jim, but he's been caught with a super kick. And Jimmy Uso, it looked like, was going to head up to the top rope for the Uso splash. El Grande Americano, though, trying to stop Jimmy Uso in his tracks, who connected with the Uso in the wind once again. Only just connected with it. And now Jimmy Uso up to the top rope, looking to put El Grande Americano away here. Couldn't connect with the Uso splash again. And able... Oh, both of these men avoiding their big strikes here, but a double super kick to the front and the back of the head into the cover to retain the championship. No, huge kick out found once again by El Grande Americano. And now up to the top rope, Jimmy Uso splash finally connecting, and is that going to be enough to retain the championship here? Jimmy Uso into the cover, and still the United States champion.
Here is your winner, and still WWE United States champion, Jimmy Uso.
Well, what a match that was, but Jimmy Uso stands tall, still the United States champion. And ladies and gentlemen, as we move on with the show, we have the current undisputed tag team champions making their way down to the ring. Now, these two have been defying all the odds to keep a hold of those tag team titles. However, it must be stated that another team may have just emerged onto the scene. Let's see what the champions have got to say here on Friday Night SmackDown.
At SummerSlam, we did exactly what champions are supposed to do. We walked into a fatal four-way tornado tag team match with The New Day, the Street Profits, Bullet Club, chaos everywhere, and somehow, some way, we walked out still your undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions.
And let's be very clear about something. We didn't steal anything. We didn't hide. We didn't run. I pinned AJ Styles in the middle of that ring. That wasn't luck. That wasn't politics. That was preparation meeting opportunity.
And let's not forget what happened the night after SummerSlam, my amigo.
Ah, yes. We also put down DIY. When I pinned Johnny Gargano's shoulders to this canvas.
But apparently, that's not enough. Because every show since SummerSlam has been about one thing. Solo Sikoa and his so-called MFTs trying to take over.
You attack champions from behind. You manipulate matches. You stack the odds. You want control. You want power. You want this division. Well, here we are.
Right here, right now. Solo, if you really think you're taking over WWE, then bring your MFTs out here. Let's not wait until Monday. Let's not play games. Let's do it tonight.
Oh, hold on a second. Well, are the MFTs here? Nathan Frazier and Fraxiom wanting the MFTs to make their way out here, and well, here is the leader, Solo Sikoa, but he doesn't have his MFTs with him. So what on earth is going on here? I guess we're about to find out what the leader of the MFTs has got to say to the undisputed tag team champions.
You two talk a lot. You talk about surviving. You talk about earning it. You talk about being ready. But this isn't your division anymore. This isn't about flips. This isn't about moments. This isn't about who pinned who. This is about control. And I control everything.
Then get down here and prove it.
No. This isn't how things work around here. I'm the one in charge now. And what I say goes. You want to be stupid enough to defend those titles against my family? Fine. But you don't get to choose when. You don't get to choose where. You don't get to demand anything from me. This Monday, Monday Night Raw, my family tree begins taking over the entire tag team division. Because Nathan Frazier, Axiom, you are not ready for my MFTs.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for my guest at this time, Alexa Bliss. Alexa, a few weeks back on the SmackDown After Evolution, you were in the final 2 of the Women's Battle Royal to determine the #1 contender to Bayley's WWE Women's Championship. You came within inches of earning yourself a championship match at SummerSlam, but just fell short. Some fans are even suggesting that after everything going on in the division, you're becoming an afterthought. How do you respond to that?
An afterthought? Byron, I walked into the Firefly Funhouse at WrestleMania. I stared the darkness in the face. I didn't flinch. I didn't blink. And I helped Blair Davenport take down Uncle Howdy in his own twisted little playground. So if anyone thinks that coming this close to the SummerSlam main event and missing it by a fraction of a second is going to break me, they better think again. I've faced far darker things in a Battle Royal loss. I've survived worse than being almost #1 contender. This isn't a roadblock. It's a fork in the road. And trust me, I always know exactly which path I'm taking. My time will come.
And ladies and gentlemen, as we move on with the show, we have Carmelo Hayes here on Friday Night SmackDown, a man who has turned his back on his own brother in Trick Williams in recent months, and seems like Carmelo Hayes is trying to go on a pursuit for the United States Championship. Of course, we did see Carmelo Hayes back at SummerSlam taking on Trick Williams, but unfortunately for Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams would get the victory, albeit via a countout. And Carmelo Hayes, on his way out of the ringside area, was issuing or was stating to Trick Williams, as Trick Williams was celebrating, that Carmelo Hayes is not finished with him just yet. And here is his opponent, another man who was competing back at SummerSlam, but in the United States Championship title matchup. And unfortunately for Penta, he was not able to be victorious in that one. Big Jimmy Uso, we saw him earlier on this evening, actually defending the championship in an open challenge. I'm sure that both of these two men in this matchup would probably want to get a piece of that open challenge at some point, but Penta making his way into the ring here, about to take on Carmelo Hayes. And Penta, of course, has held that United States Championship on 2 occasions here in Universe Mode, but both times have been very short title reigns. I'm sure that Penta wants to finally gain that championship and keep a hold of it for an extended period of time. So Penta and Carmelo Hayes one-on-one, and here we go, bell rings and we're underway here. Kick to the shin there immediately from Penta. Throws Carmelo Hayes off his game for a moment before these two locking up in the center of the ring. Penta getting the upper hand momentarily. Very technical start to this one. These two just feeling each other out, it seems like. Carmelo Hayes, though, able to break the hold, and then a big drop kick connecting, followed by a big elbow drop as well. Now Carmelo Hayes out on the outside, senton connecting. Carmelo Hayes increasing the pace of this one early on here. Double axe handle as well. Piling on the pressure onto the luchador. Now off the ropes. Looking for the blockbuster, couldn't connect with it. Penta was able to just roll on out of the way momentarily. And now, oh my word, the knee to the back of the neck. These two fighting as if they've got some serious issues with each other early on here. Knee to the back of the head as well. And I mean, this is Penta's style. But Carmelo Hayes, is not so often that we see this kind of aggression from him. Unless it's actually brought out of him. And oh my goodness, the knee to the spine off of the power bomb. Penta showing no remorse here. He's now Carmelo Hayes, the former world heavyweight champion. He's in some trouble here. Of course, he dominated last year in 2K24's Universe Mode series, holding the World Heavyweight Championship hostage for most of the year. He held that championship for around 9 months in total. And now here in 2K25's Universe Mode, he feels as though he's been held back by Trick Williams after trying to bring Trick Williams to the top of the mountain, as he stated, wanting that tag team championship gold together. But now, hold on a second, big DDT onto the apron, the hardest part of the ring. My goodness, Carmelo Hayes and Penta. I mean, there's no championship on the line, there's no #1 contendership here. It's just a one-on-one matchup, but these two are fighting as if their life depends on it. I mean, I guess they're probably thinking about the long term, and oh my word, if they're able to get a victory here, then you have to think that they're going to propel themselves up the card, and especially up the rankings towards that United States Championship. Of course, one of these two could perhaps maybe even answer the call next week for the Open Challenge that Big Jim Uso will be issuing. There's now Penta back to his feet here. Carmelo Hayes staying in the ring, trying to take the count out, but Penta not about to allow that to happen. There's now some well-placed elbows to the midsection of Carmelo Hayes. And Penta now sending Carmelo into the corner. Just taking his time here is Penta, but Carmelo Hayes seemingly the aggressor here in this one. There's now Penta in the corner, and Carmelo Hayes with some snake eyes onto the turnbuckle pad. And hold on a second, oh my word. Well, we were speaking of him. Trick Williams is making his way out here. Carmelo Hayes is, well, he's being distracted here. He needs to remain focused on Penta, who's back to his feet behind him. And now Penta into a roll-up, looking to steal the victory, but Carmelo Hayes able to power out. And I mean, we were talking about Trick Williams getting the upper hand on Carmelo Hayes back at SummerSlam, but here tonight, Trick Williams, well, it seems like he's going to stay here at ringside, causing a distraction firstly, and now Penta looking to put Carmelo Hayes away with the sacrifice, dislocating the shoulder, almost snapping the arm in half, but now into the cover for the victory. No. Somehow Carmelo Hayes is just about able to hang in this one. As now Penta taking his time here once again, slowing the pace slightly. And now Penta removing that glove. And I mean, that doesn't bode well for Carmelo Hayes, as now Penta is sizing up Carmelo, who slowly makes his way back to his feet, but a big elbow connecting for Carmelo, and now off with a springboard into the clothesline connecting. And Carmelo Hayes is gonna, well, he's gonna have to remain focused on Penta here, as oh my word, suplex cutter connecting. Despite the fact that Trick Williams is here at ringside, Carmelo Hayes for the victory. No. Penta able to power out this time. My goodness, what a match we have here on Friday Night SmackDown. What a show this is turning out to be so far. As Carmelo Hayes up to the top rope. He's sizing up his man. Could he be about to look to put Penta away here? It didn't go for the nothing but net, surprisingly. Into a corkscrew arm drag instead. Showcasing that he's not a one-trick pony here. And now Carmelo Hayes planting Penta off of the power slam, and now heading up to the top rope once more. Carmelo Hayes, frog splash connecting in the center of the ring, hooking a leg for the victory. Carmelo Hayes, no, a kick out found again for Penta. And now Carmelo Hayes has got to be wondering what on earth he needs to do to keep the luchador down. As now off the ropes goes Carmelo Hayes. Penta though, a swing and a miss a couple of times as Hold on a second. Carmelo Hayes stopped in his tracks. And now Penta hoisting him up here. And the knee to the shoulder. Penta throwing everything he can at Carmelo Hayes. As now, oh my goodness, into a bit of a modified attitude adjustment there. Of course, if we rewind time, we will remember that John Cena actually stole a victory from Penta. I believe that was in the King of the Ring tournament, and Penta did issue a challenge that at some point in universe mode, he would love to take on the greatest of all time. But as for now, Carmelo Hayes could be in big trouble. Hoisted up here. Penta, another powerbomb to the knee. The knee into the spine, and this could be all over. Into the cover for the victory. No, another kick out found for Carmelo Hayes. Somehow Carmelo Hayes just about hanging on, but oh my word, he's been caught. Penta driver connecting in the center of the ring for the victory. Oh my goodness, another kick out found for Carmelo Hayes. And I mean, Carmelo Hayes may be tapping into whatever he had going on last year in universe mode, because it seemed like he was unbeatable when he held that World Heavyweight Championship, the first 48 connecting. And Carmelo Hayes, well, for a moment it looked like he may have been down and out in this one, but he may be about to turn things around. It looked like he may have been thinking about going for that nothing but net just a moment ago. He decided against it, however, could be setting things up here. He's now heading up to the top rope. Carmelo Hayes looking to put Penta away. Big elbow drop connecting. Into the cover he goes. I'm surprised he didn't go for the nothing but net, but looking for the victory. No. A kick out found by Penta this time, and now Carmelo Hayes is the one who can't believe it. Both of these two men putting their bodies on the line here this evening. Moonsault connecting. Carmelo Hayes here sizing up Penta, who could be in trouble, but he's able to avoid whatever Carmelo Hayes had planned. Big kicks to the hamstring, and now sent into the corner. It's not what you want, where you want to be if you're with Penta. Reversal found, but hold on a second. Over the top into the backstabber connecting. Both knees to the spine. Penta has been working on that spine all evening here. As now planting Carmelo Hayes again, spine first into the canvas. And Carmelo Hayes is in deep, deep trouble. Penta now. Oh my word. Oh my goodness. Penta. Mexican Destroyer connecting, and that has got to be it. Into the cover he goes for the victory. Penta's done it. So Penta puts down Carmelo Hayes finally, and you can see the damage that has been done to him throughout that matchup. Penta struggling back to his feet here, but with the WWE Universe behind him, Penta able to march forward and get the victory here tonight and propel himself up the power rankings. And hold on a second, well, what is this? What on earth is going on? Aleister Black into the ring, wiping out Penta from behind, but Trick Williams coming to the rescue for Penta. And now, these two staring down. Well, we know that both of these two want that United States Championship as well. But Trick Williams just came to the rescue for Penta. And ladies and gentlemen, as we look to move on with the show, we have the Viper, Randy Orton, here on Friday Night SmackDown. Now, of course, Randy Orton had an opportunity to perhaps dethrone the final boss as the undisputed champion back at Crown Jewel. But if we take a trip down memory lane, we will remember that Jacob Fatu, the Samoan werewolf, the man who was holding the briefcase, it seemed like for a moment he was about to cash in that briefcase. but instead he decided to cost this man the 16th World Championship here in Universe mode. So Randy Orton could have been on the verge of equaling John Cena, the greatest of all time, on his farewell tour. Randy Orton has made it clear that he wants to try and beat John Cena, or at least stop John Cena from winning that 17th World Championship, because Orton believes that he's the man who deserves that moniker.
You know, I tried. I tried to be the guy this place needed. At Crown Jewel, I walked in as the Winged Eagle champion. Not for ego, not for legacy, but because I wanted to unify those titles and give SmackDown a fighting champion. And what happened? I got screwed. I didn't lose that championship because I wasn't good enough. I lost it because a Samoan werewolf decided to play attack dog for the final boss. Jacob Fatu, you aren't a werewolf. You were a leash. You were a lapdog. You were The Rock's little bitch. And now you've got the undisputed championship. You cashed in at SummerSlam, during the chaos, during someone else's war. And you think that makes you dangerous? You want to know what's dangerous? Those voices. What's dangerous is the fact that those voices I hear inside my head are getting louder and louder and louder. They've been talking to me again, Jacob, and they're not telling me to wrestle you. They're not telling me to outsmart you. They're telling me to kick those gold teeth down your throat. They're telling me to kick the so-called Samoan werewolf's head clean off his shoulders. You cost me my championship. You cost these people the champion they deserved. And I am not waiting in line. I am not filling out paperwork. And I am not waiting for some boardroom decision. Jacob Fatu, get out here right now and put that title on the line.
Oh, here we go. It is the undisputed WWE Champion, the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu, answering the call of Randy Orton. Now, I'm not sure how wise this is of Jacob Fatu, because Randy Orton stating that he's starting to hear those voices inside his head once again. But Jacob Fatu is not going to back down from a challenge. Let's see what the Samoan Werewolf has got to say in response.
You done talking? Huh? Little snake boy? You talk about Crown Jewel like I owe you something. I don't owe you a damn thing. You got in my way, and I handled it. You want this? You want your rematch? You want to prove you're still the Viper? I'm not The Rock. I'm not anybody's lapdog. And I'm not scared of the voices in your head. You want it right now? Let's go. I'll put it on the line.
Wait, hold on a second. We're gonna get a WWE Undisputed Championship match here in the main event on Friday Night SmackDown.
Introducing the challenger. From St. Louis, Missouri, weighing in at 295 pounds, the Viper, Randy Orton! And his opponent, from Sacramento, California, weighing in at 285 pounds, the undisputed WWE Champion, the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu!
And so, Jacob Fatu is putting his undisputed championship on the line against the Viper, despite the fact that Randy Orton has made it clear that he's starting to hear those voices inside his head again. And I mean, you have to wonder, is this a wise choice by Jacob Fatu? Randy Orton, you can see in his eyes, something is not quite right with that man. But Jacob Fatu is not about to back down from a challenge, and a big super kick right out of the gates here, as Jacob Fatu, I guess, is trying to send a message to the entire locker room here. Of course, he cashed in that briefcase successfully back at SummerSlam in the main event. And of course, that did, in fact, stop John Cena from winning his 17th World Championship here in Universe Mode. I mean, Jacob Fatu finally breaking free from the final boss and the final boss's clutches. But, I mean, we do have to also talk about the fact that, hold on a second, big diving headbutt connecting for the Samoan Werewolf. But if we talk about the final boss, we have to speak about what happened last week on Friday Night SmackDown, where it seemed like Cody Rhodes has maybe sold his soul and opted to go alongside the final boss, maybe in pursuit of winning his first WWE Championship and the first championship for the Rhodes family. But now, into the cover, Jacob Fatu. Oh my word, a kick out at one by the Viper. As now Randy Orton finding a reversal here. Now big strikes, a hip toss as well from Jacob Fatu. As now Randy Orton back to his feet. Of course, Jacob Fatu, as we mentioned earlier on, he did in fact cost Randy Orton his championship back at Crown Jewel, when Randy Orton, oh my goodness, was in that unification matchup against the final boss. And as Randy stated earlier on here, he wanted to give this WWE Universe the champion that they deserve, a fighting champion, instead of a man who would take the championship away to Hollywood and not even show up for 6 months here in Universe Mode. And hold on a second, well, these two heading into the crowd here, and I mean, this is a championship matchup. Randy Orton, if he wants to win the championship, he needs to get back into the ring. But Jacob Fatu just continuing to brawl here with the #1 contender. By now, these two heading back into the ringside area. So it seems like, hold on a second, Randy Orton quickly back into the ring, not about to allow Jacob Fatu to stop him in his tracks just there. And now big headbutt connecting for the Samoan Werewolf. Jacob Fatu now in full control, but Randy Orton able to find a reversal. So of course, as we stated before, Cody Rhodes is looking to win his first WWE Championship here in Universe Mode. We did in fact see him with that massive feud last year with the Viper, Randy Orton, heading into WrestleMania. And that did have the blow-off match back in Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania. But now, Randy Orton seems to be just completely obsessed with John Cena and trying to beat him towards that 17th World Championship. Of course, Randy Orton is sat on 15 titles, so if he wins one more, he will in fact equal John Cena on number 16. And Randy Orton here tonight, well, he's setting up for it. We could be about to see it. Could be about, oh no, reversal found by the Samoan Werewolf, but Randy Orton could have been a moment away from earning that 16th World Championship. As now Jacob Fatu Slowly back to his feet. Randy Orton looking to pick apart the Samoan Werewolf, but a big elbow to the back of the head there by Jacob. Now big strike by the WWE Champion, and now to the outside goes Randy Orton, and well, you're not safe out there. Jacob Fatu has that look in his eye. Jacob Fatu gonna fly with a suicide dive to the outside and now up onto the barricade. What on earth is Jacob Fatu doing? Jacob Fatu with a double axe handle off of the barricade to the back of the neck of the Viper. Jacob Fatu looking to do anything he can to retain his championship here this evening. As now Jacob Fatu out on the apron. And oh my goodness, Randy Orton almost sent to the outside of the ring there by Jacob Fatu. Now Randy Orton with a reversal. Jawbreaker connecting. And now, oh my word, into another Thez press here. Some ground and pound by Randy Orton. And Jacob Fatu using the ropes to get back to his feet. And now Jacob Fatu is the one sent to the outside. Randy Orton telling him to get back into the ring. But heading up to the top rope, it's not often that we see this from the Viper. Randy Orton looking to fly, double axe handle of his own off the top rope this time. And Jacob Fatu is in big trouble. And big knee drop to the side of the face by the Viper. And now Randy Orton looking for an armbar on the outside. This is unlike the Viper as well. Looking for a submission, maybe looking to try and wear out the Samoan Werewolf. And now, oh my goodness, a pile driver on the outside by Jacob Fatu, just crushing the neck and the spine on the concrete floor, but somehow Randy Orton is making his way back to his feet here, and Jacob Fatu with a diving headbutt off of the top rope. My goodness, Jacob Fatu absolutely remorseless here. Now Randy Orton has been busted wide open. Things are not looking good for the Viper as he's sent back into the ring here. Jacob Fatu, if he goes for the cover, this one could be all over. Into the corner he goes though. Jacob Fatu now with another diving headbutt. And Randy Orton, he doesn't seem to know where he's at right now. Oh, but able to find a reversal there. And was looking to take Jacob Fatu out from behind, but Fatu with eyes in the back of his head and a pop-up Samoan drop connecting for the WWE Champion. And now Jacob Fatu with Randy Orton right where he wants him. Big powerbomb connecting for the Samoan Werewolf. And Randy Orton heading out to the outside. Big strike by Jacob. Randy Orton shoves off the Samoan Werewolf though. And now Jacob Fatu hoisted up and planted face first into the turnbuckle pad, and now the WWE Champion has been busted open as well. Well, what a main event this is. Randy Orton now on more ground and pound, another Thez press. And oh my word, Randy Orton is hearing those voices. RKO connecting, a new WWE Champion. Surely this has got to be it. No! The Samoan Werewolf able to power out. And now Randy Orton with a knee to the spine. And he's just asking Jacob Fatu if he tried to end his career, as he was applying the pressure to the spine of the Samoan Werewolf. But Jacob Fatu, so explosive, able to get back into this one. And I mean, you do not want to tick off the Viper here this evening, especially if he stated that he's heard those voices inside of his head. We know exactly what happened the last time that Randy Orton started to listen to those voices. It was back last year in 2K24's Universe Mode series, where he started to punt kick everyone left, right and centre, including Cody Rhodes' own brother in Dustin Rhodes, who had made his return back at the Elimination Chamber. And Randy Orton decided to try and kick the head off of his shoulders for WrestleMania. But now Jacob Fatu into the ring. And well, you can see Randy Orton is just clutching at the leg here. And I mean, Randy Orton may be suffering. May need to get a medical team out here, because Randy Orton is in quite a state right now. I think he's trying to power through and try and just win that 16th championship. And I mean, you have to wonder if he even wins the title, is he going to be able to keep it? Because he's suffered so much punishment in this matchup. And now Randy Orton just waiting for the Samoan Werewolf inside the ring, daring him to enter. As Jacob Fatu does so, and then he's met with a big clothesline by the Viper. And Randy Orton looking to maybe put away the WWE champion here. Big strikes to the midsection by Jacob Fatu though. Able to break out of the clutches of the Viper. Back and forth we go between these two. Who is going to walk out of SmackDown as the undisputed champion into the cover? Off with a big splash. Jacob Fatu to retain the title. No. Huge kick out found by Orton. And now Jacob Fatu looking for a BME, but he couldn't connect with it. Randy Orton saw it coming, was able to avoid it. And that could be a big turning point in this matchup. Power slam connecting. Vintage Orton here. And now Fatu is in deep trouble. Randy Orton stomping away at every exposed limb here on the Samoan Werewolf. And oh my word, Randy Orton is listening to those voices once more. RKO connecting. This has surely got to be it. A new undisputed champion here on SmackDown. What? Hold on a second. Well, Cody Rhodes with the undisputed championship. And this is going to be a disqualification here. Randy Orton taken out by Cody Rhodes with the title. Oh my goodness. Well, last week we saw Cody Rhodes arrive. And this week, he's just cost us a main event here and a potential new undisputed champion. But now Cody Rhodes just picking up the championship here, sending a message. Hold on a second. The final boss is here on Friday Night SmackDown. And maybe, just maybe, he may have been the man to send Cody Rhodes to basically stop this main event matchup between Randy Orton and Jacob Fatu for the undisputed championship. Of course, The Rock is the man who had the Money in the Bank briefcase cashed in on him back at SummerSlam by his Samoan Werewolf, his enforcer, Jacob Fatu. And of course we saw last week that it seems like Cody Rhodes may have sided himself along with the final boss, and he may have even sold his soul in the process. But the final boss is making his way down to the ring here after Cody Rhodes has done the dirty work using the championship to basically stop his former mentor from winning a 15th, or I should say a 16th World Championship here in Universe mode. And Randy Orton has made it clear that he wants to go after the 17th title to try and beat John Cena for that goal. But Cody Rhodes here this evening may have just cost him, because you could argue that Randy Orton was on the brink of winning the title. But now the final boss makes his way down to the ring. Let's see what he has got to say here this evening.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Easy now. Don't boo. You're looking at greatness. Jacob Fatu. The Rock brought you into this business. The Rock gave you opportunity. The Rock kept you from ending up locked inside a jail cell somewhere. And this This is how you repay the final boss?
After WrestleMania, The Rock had all the power. The Rock held this entire industry by the throat and wouldn't let go. Board of directors, main events, championship gold. The final boss carried this place on his back. But The Rock is done with that now. Not the power part. The Rock will never be done with power. But The Rock is done being hands-on. Done carrying unworthy men. Jimmy Uso, not worthy. Jey Uso, not worthy. Jacob Fatu, not worthy. Roman Reigns, not worthy. Without The Rock, there is no Stone Cold Steve Austin. Without The Rock, there is no John Cena, no farewell tour. Without The Rock, there is no tribal chief. There is no bloodline because The Rock is the high chief. The Rock is the final boss. And now the final boss has found someone who is worthy. A man who understands sacrifice. A man who understands that greatness isn't given, it's taken. A man who is willing to do anything, to give up his soul in pursuit of destiny. This man will be my champion. This man will take this company to heights you people can't even comprehend. You spent years chanting his name, crying for him to finish his story. And he realized something. Fairy tales, they don't make champions. All year long, The Rock told you the devil had awoken. Now, the devil has arrived.